Alrighty guys, we're back for some big red counters, and this is a Lost Caverns of Ixalan early access standard brew. We're gonna go over the deck, then hop right into some games, but first things first, for anyone who may not know, I'm Red Cat and I build all kinds of different decks, but I do prefer aggro decks and any decks with red in them as well, so I hope that sounds fun to ya. Also, we do have that Discord link as well as that Patreon link down in the description if you're interested in joining either of those up. Okay, what do we got packed into the build here? This is very much a Millennium Calendar build. And over in the Discord, you guys were talking about how well this is going to pair with things like All Will Be One. So kind of sort of a Discord suggestion. Thank you so much for the suggestion. It's going to be a fun one. What is Millennium Calendar? It's a 1-mana legendary artifact. Whenever you untap one or more permanents, during your untap step, you put that many time counters on Millennium Calendar. For 2 mana, you can tap this. Double the number of time counters on Millennium Calendar. Okay, so you can see how that can get out of hand pretty fast. Then when there are 1,000 or more time counters on Millennium Calendar, sacrifice it. Each opponent loses 1,000 life. Now in this build in particular, we're not really going for that 1,000 mark, although I can imagine we'd just accidentally get there sometimes. What we're actually going for is to have All Will Be One on the board and just do a ridiculous amount of damage that way. This is a 5-mana enchantment. Whenever you put one or more counters on a permanent or player, All Will Be One deals that much damage to target opponent, creature an opponent controls, or a planeswalker an opponent controls. Yeah, dude, I'll tell you what, this card can get out of hand pretty fast even without the Millennium Calendar. So we do have a whole bunch of other stuff in here that's going to work with All Will Be One. And a couple other new cards as well that's going to work well with this, like Treasure Map. This is a 2-mana artifact. For 1 mana, you can tap it to scry 1. Then you put a landmark counter on Treasure Map. Then if there are 3 or more landmark counters on it, you remove those counters, transform Treasure Map, and create 3 treasure tokens. So it transforms into Treasure Cove, which is a land that taps for a colorless, but you can also tap it to sacrifice a treasure to draw a card. But my guess is, in this deck in particular, we're probably going to be using those treasures as ramp, just to be able to do multiple things on the same turn, because we have a lot of expensive stuff in here. Well, I mean, card draw is really important too, so I don't know, we'll see, right? I guess it's going to be interesting to see how much this actually does. I do think it is going to do a lot, though, overall. More new cards, we have Ojer, Axonil, Deepest Might. This is a 4-mana 4/4 legendary creature, God, has Trample. If a red source you control would deal an amount of non-combat damage less than Ojer Axonil's power to an opponent, that source deals damage equal to Ojer Axonil's power instead. So it is only to opponents, so not like creatures the opponents control. So essentially what that means is if you're like doing 1 damage to the opponent's face, it's actually 4 damage because that's Axonil's power, which is really cool, man. So when this dies, you return it to the battlefield tapped transformed under its owner's control. So it comes out as Temple of Power, which is a land that taps for a red. And you could pay 2 and a red and tap it, transform Temple of Power, activate only if red sources you controlled dealt 4 or more non-combat damage this turn, and only as a sorcery. So I don't think that would be too hard to get to. I just don't know how often, like how late in the game are you to have already played this, lost it, and be doing that much damage to eventually transform this back. I don't know how often that's going to happen, and maybe we'll actually just like to have it as a land, as a little bit of ramp when it ends up dying, you know what I mean? Okay, so what do we have in here that's going to work well with All Will Be One? A whole bunch of stuff that just comes in with counters, like Invasion of Karsus, coming in with 4 defense counters. It's a 4-mana Battle Siege. When it ETBs, deals 3 damage to each creature and each planeswalker as well. So unfortunately, that also hits our Chandra, which of course comes in with loyalty counters, right? And the +1s on this are going to be pretty terrific in this deck. Like imagine you go the top +1, it deals 1 damage to the opponent, and then you have like Ojer on the board, then it's like 4 damage instead. What if you also have that All Will Be One? Then, then the counter is another 1 damage for the All Will Be One, which would actually be 4 instead too. So yeah, really, really neat synergy there. Every time you're just putting 1 counter on something with the All Will Be One, then if you have that Ojer, it's actually 4 instead of the 1, which is just kind of wild to think about. I mean, you know, that's asking for a lot, but you never know. It's going to happen eventually, right? We have a Glittering Stockpile here for more ramp. Looks like we're ramping right by the 4 and right into the 5, which is probably what we want. There's going to be plenty of turns where we need to drop a turn for like burn down the house. We have a couple of those in here. The devils are going to be nice. When they die, they do that 1 damage to any target. So again, working with that Ojer, since that is non-combat damage when it dies. We have cards like Solphim as well to work with just everything. This is one that we don't get to see enough of, unfortunately. So it's a 4 mana, 5/4 legendary creature. The source you control would deal non-combat damage to an opponent or a permanent an opponent controls. It deals double that damage to that player or permanent instead, which should stack with the Ojer. I'm thinking that if you're doing like 1 damage and you have the Axonil, right? Then it would do 4 and then it would double to 8 off of the Solphim. I think that's the order it would work in. I guess maybe we'll see that in action today to see if that is the order, right? We have some early removal, couple play with fires. It's going to be important to be able to hit the opponent's face too, especially when we have cards like Solphim and whatnot in here to deal that extra damage through. Opting for a Torch the Tower. I don't know how often we're actually going to use that bargain, but we do have artifacts. We do have ways to get treasures and whatnot. So yeah, I mean, and the exile removal happens to be pretty good too. And I like having these 1 mana removal spells when we have cards like Glittering Stockpile in here. So you can go turn 3 Stockpile and still keep open like a Play with Fire or something, which happens to be pretty decent. Rocking an Obliterating Bolt this time round, just more exile removal, and I wanted something that did more than just 3 damage. That way we can get rid of an 8/8 if it's on the board, if we have like Solphim or something. Again, asking for a lot of setup, but that was the thought process behind adding the Obliterating Bolt. A couple lightning strikes, same concept as the Play with Fire, going to be important to hit the opponent's face sometimes in this build. We got a couple bitter reunions. You never know when it's going to be important to give our creatures haste off of like Solphim and Ojer. Giving haste to those could be really good, especially if you're doing something like swinging into like the Battle Siege too. Also just wanted more card draw and a way to filter out extra Millennium Calendar since it is a legendary artifact. Is that everything already, guys? I think so. Yeah. Over in the metabase, have 26 land. It's going to be super important to play a land every single turn in a deck like this. A couple blast zones, going to work well with the All Will Be one. Crucible of Defiance, 22 mountains, and also a new one, Hidden Volcano. ETB's tapped, which I hope we don't care about too much. It does tap for a red source, and then for 4 and a red, you can tap it, sack it, discover 4, activate only as a sorcery. So for Discover, you exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land card with mana value 4 or less. So you could totally hit like a Solphim or an Ojer Axonil off of this, which is pretty wild, or you could hit an Invasion of Karsus since that's a permanent as well. So you may cast it without paying its mana cost, or put it into your hand, and then you put the rest on the bottom in a random order. So a lot of great cards to hit off of Hidden Volcano. It's going to be interesting to see if it does a thing today. Honorable mentions, I guess like more removal could probably go a long way, and then at that point, your choice of spot removal, like how many artifacts are you seeing? Maybe an Abrade would go a long way. Thought about Brotherhood's End, just more ways to wipe a board could be good. Only a couple burn down the house and a couple invasions might not be enough. Thought about Shivan Devastator just because it's an all-will-be-one build. Also thought about this new one, a Brass's Tunnel Grinder, but I don't think we have enough in here to go ahead and use that Descend ability to its fullest, but could have been a neat one. It does get counters when you do descend, so that does work with the all-will-be-one. Okay, guys, I think that's everything. This one took a little bit longer to go over. Let's go ahead, take it into some games, and see how we do. Right into that first game. Awesome. All right. I was a little worried I wasn't going to be able to find too many games because we're just a couple hours away from the early access ending. Oh, 3 mana. Opponent goes first. Like a little bit of early removal, but not... Okay, I'll give this a shot. I like seeing the Ojer Axonil right away. Okay, we got the 4th mana. That's good news, I suppose. Start with that mountain. Going back to my turn. What was holding that up there? Okay, we have a Lightning Strike available. Oh, Xander's Lounge. Shipwreck Marsh. Oh, no. Oh, dear. Oh, it's gonna be... They're gonna be milling themselves. Do we want to keep Lightning Strike as removal, or do we just want to hit the opponent's face? I guess we just save it back for now, right? A little bit of patience with the card. Alright, let's get that Chandra down. Hopefully it's not like a Spell Pierce. It was not, luckily. We'll go ahead and just ping the opponent's face for 1, and no 1-drop to play off of that, but that's fine. I'll tell you what, we might get the Chandra with the Axonil on board if they don't counter this, or if they don't kill our Planeswalker right away too, right? Going for the mill. I'm scared, guys, I'm scared. That is a 1/1 right now, each equal to the number of creature cards in all graveyards. Wow, they got a little unlucky there. Only 1 creature off of all that. Alright, here we go. Here we go, guys. We want to play that first, and then we go plus, and that should be 4 damage to the opponent's face every single time. That's wild, dude. And if we had to play with fire, I would play it this turn too. For another 4, like since we had that 1 mana available there. So what's fun is, ooh, this made the honorable mentions. Brass's Tunnel Grinder. Oh, did they just discard everything? And yeah, and they get to draw 1 after that too. So save the Chandra. If we let Ojer die, it comes back as a land and we can play the second one. Or we can just let Chandra take the extra damage here too. I'm gonna block, because they don't know we have the second Axonil in hand. So that's like a little bit of ramp. They get the descend counter on that. Okay. So now we play the second one, right? Into Temple of Power taps for red, right? Yeah. Okay. We didn't really need the ramp. Should I use this one and at least put a blast zone counter? Or should I go Crucible? Crucible for 3 and not have the Lightning Strike open? That's probably the best bet, right? Just keep slamming through as much as possible every single turn. Still have 3 mana open. Ancient One comes down as an 8/8. So no removal for this Ojer Axonil. Likeness Looter. Oh man, they're just slamming stuff onto this board. Holy cow. Okay, so 2 mana card, 2 mana card, 2 mana card. So Blast Zone needs to get up to 2. And we can't swing into an 8/8 by any means. We're so close to that -7 on the Chandra. I wonder, can we... Oh. I'm sorry, opponent, for holding you up. I just now realized we can just play Chandra number 2 and then Lightning Strike the opponent's face. I almost missed that, guys. I did, because... hey, yes, good game, absolutely. They didn't know we had the Lightning Strike, but they assumed that we had the damage. That was pretty wild, man. That Axonil was crazy with that Chandra. Also, with all that extra damage and everything piling through, there was a possibility, and a lot of extra mana, there was a possibility to flip that original Axonil back into a creature that turn too, even if we didn't have the other one, right? Neat. Great first game. Didn't showcase what the deck was actually built for, but I mean, it showcased that the deck was able to do damage, so that's good. Oh, right into the next match. There might be more people playing right now, a couple hours before the end, than there was last night when I was trying to record. So let's see. Okay, I'm gonna give it a shot just because we have the combo in hand. Here we go. Millennium Calendar. Let's do this. Like, this is such a risky hand, man. I mean, yeah, a couple turns. A couple turns with Millennium Calendar. We can do it at instant speed. Well, I hope it doesn't say anything about sorcery on here. Seeing the extra land was great. Ooh, okay. Ojer in hand. That's decent, man. Okay. I'm gonna skip the Blast Zone for now because the auto tapper is a little weird, and I don't plan on using Blast Zone. I plan on doubling the Millennium Calendar. Okay. End turn. And we want to make sure to tap the... Oh, they're passing it right back to us. We want to make sure to tap the land even if we're not using it. Because when it untaps... Dude, this can get out of hand really fast. Holy cow. Okay, Solphim. Everything in our hand is so expensive, guys. Holy cow. Do we want to just... What do I play? I guess... the Axonil, because if it dies, it'll become a land. That makes sense to me. Looks like they do have some removal. It's going to be Get Lost. Oh, a couple map counters. Nice. Yeah, that little bit of ramp can go a long way too when it comes time to get all will be one down. Enters the battlefield. If you cast it, discover 3. Wow, a Tali's Favor, and they get a Discover 3? Because they don't have to cast the Favor. That's so cool, dude. Wow. What did they hit off of that? Was it, did they add a Get Lost to their hand, or something along those lines? Alright, guys, so we have the land. We have 19 counters on the calendar. If we go all will be one, we don't have the mana to tap the calendar. We'll have 4. If we go Chandra, set up for next turn, it might be a little bit better. It might be like surprise them type of thing, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Get the Solphim down. Okay. Okay. Hopefully this doesn't get out of hand and they just like end up winning with like, I don't know, some kind of haste nonsense, right? So all we got to do is have Chandra survive, then we'll have enough mana to play All Will Be One and activate Calendar on the same turn. Oh, Chandra's dead. Okay, if we see a land off the top. Land off the top, come on, come on. Calendar now has 25. Treasure Map is not a land. We could go normal maps, but we actually need a creature on the board for that too. All right, we better, like, I don't want enchantment removal though. If they drop a Get Lost on the All Will Be One, then that's pretty bad. I'm gonna just hold back for the turn because I don't think we're gonna die next turn. I guess, like, you never know, right? 1, 2. I'm gonna use this in the treasure on our turn. Burn down the house. I'm looking for a mana. It's too bad our Chandra died, guys. And then we still have Millennium Calendar to double on their turn. And I'll keep that open for that. Why did I want to scry on our turn? I don't know. I guess I wanted more knowledge right away. I feel like we should be scared. What does this do? Discover 4? Okay. That's terrifying. Atali's Favor. That's so cool, man. Ow. So the Discover is from exile then? Is that how that works? And they found a breaches, which is a pretty good one, man. Ow. Come on, we need that mana. Also, I'm just gonna wipe the board next turn, luckily, so. Okay, yeah, the 5's getting through. They're tapped out. I'm activating this now instead of holding it open. Okay. 57. Let's go. Okay, we found the mana. It took a couple turns. 57 damage to the opponent's face. I mean, you can't ask for a better first couple games, right? How fun is that, man? How fun. All right. Well, it took a while, right? If we were up against like a speedier deck, that was definitely, it looked like Boros mid-range discovery, right? That's what that looked like, which looked really cool. All right, let's keep going. Oh, yeah, I mean, the rest of the matches can go however the heck they want to, right? That all felt pretty great. We probably have to label a deck like this jank though, right? Just because of what it's trying to do. Oh, found the next opponent already. Very nice. Okay. What you bringing to the table, opponent? You know what I haven't seen yet in the early access? I haven't seen like any mono black, which I'm a little surprised about. Because there's that new 4-drop that looks kind of insane. Might be a risky hand. Let's give it a shot. Because I really want to test out these early treasure maps. Oh, Hidden Volcano. Good draw. Well, unless we wanted to keep Torch the Tower open, but like it's good to get this down early. Bitter Reunion. One of my favorites. It's good to see someone else playing with it, honestly. Treasure map. Glittering Stockpile was a good draw. Yeah, that's good stuff, man. And the scry off the treasure map. It's going to be pretty decent. Brass's Tunnel Grinder. Man. Oh. Oh. Oh, I don't like the look of that at all. I feel like I should be very scared. Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to somehow figure out how to go faster here. We can keep Torch open with the treasure map open as well. And if we don't use Torch the Tower, then we use the treasure map. And we start the ball rolling with the Glittering Stockpile counters. There's that new, like, 4-mana card that can reanimate something as a 1/1 spirit. Crap, dude. Is that what they're doing? And when that ETBs, it comes in with counters. Oh, dude, that is scary business. Very cool decks from the opponents, huh? Do we want land to... no. No, we don't want land right now. Another treasure map. I guess we wiped the board, but at the same time... choose the battlefield or attacks, they create gnomes. Could we wait a turn? Let them create even more? We potentially could. And then activate a couple treasure maps. I'm gonna get greedy here, guys. I'm gonna hold off on that burn down the house. If they had like blue over here, I don't think I'd be doing this, but... okay, we can activate both treasure maps. And still have Torch the Tower if we wanted to use that. Here comes the swing. Get a bunch of gnomes. It's gonna be a fun board wipe, I'll tell you that much. Alright, take the damage. I'm gonna save that Torch the Tower for something more important, I would say. Okay, activate treasure map number 1. Get that scry. Burn down the house. You know what, actually? 2 of them's probably going to be pretty good. I'm going to activate this just for the sake of getting the counter on it. And that's that. My turn. Yeah, definitely worth it now, I would say. See what ends up happening here. They do have 4 mana open. I don't know what fancy thing that could be. Like I said, if they had blue, we would have done that burn down the house last turn. And we still have the treasure map open, which I guess we save it for their turn. It does create the treasure tokens, which we could use to play our 3rd treasure map, but I feel like that doesn't make too much sense. It was a big score. Nice. We should be scared because they could easily find more reanimator spells. And like, look at how stocked their graveyard is, dude. Holy cow. Oh, that's a really neat concept with the Moonshaker Cavalry with the threefold Thunderhulk. That's really neat. Oh, crap. One with the multiverse. No blue sources, but the 2 treasure from the big score. Oh, man. Okay, I guess we're going to go ahead get the scry in now. All will be one. Should I keep it? Is it too late for something like that? No, I'll keep it. I'll keep it. I mean, that's the whole point. And since we're getting some ramp off the treasure too. So they get 4. My apologies, opponent, for holding you up. I don't think we do that. So all will be 1. Lets them just play something out of their hand. Or off the top without paying its mana cost. Or, I'm sorry, 1 with the multiverse. Did I say all will be 1? I have no idea. The names are kind of sort of similar. So if we go all will be 1. And start pinging their creatures every time we put a counter on something. Which does include, so if I go like this, ping. We're at 12, so I'm feeling relatively safe to save that burn down the house again for after they spam more out. Oh, Solphim. Dude, I don't know what to keep on top and what not to keep on top, honestly. Solphim's probably pretty decent. Ping another one. We can go treasure map. Ping another one. I guess we might as well, since we're going to get more treasures from this treasure map next turn. Now we have Torch the Tower open and the treasure map to tap on their turn. Well, thank you, opponent. Yeah, the all will be 1 seems decent enough. Scoundrel. That's a little scary. Should we torch the tower on that? Oh, they could go Wicked Roll on the 4/4, right? Let's see. They're gonna discard and draw, get rid of a land. Might be flooding a little bit then. Was that their free play? No, they didn't play a free play yet. Okay. Okay. So they're gonna create a bunch of 1/1s. You know what? I guess I still do this, and I guess it's just gonna be burned down the house next turn anyways. Auto pay, counter, keep Solphim on top. Bro, I don't even know at this point. I really don't. Maybe we should be searching. Probably should have targeted Scoundrel there. So that was a little weird of me. just gunned down a poor gnome instead of the Scoundrel. But I'm still gonna save that Torch the Tower. Collector's Fall. I don't know what we're saving it for, but yeah, especially since we're gonna do the burn down the house. Pressure token. This looks super scary, man. Yeah, we need a better setup, and hopefully Solphim can help us get there. And then, like, this is where I don't know, because we only have a few. The World spell, is that what they found off the top? So it looks like it's Boros, but they're splashing all these top-end colors with treasures. That's what it looks like, right? With like the Collector's Vault and everything, which is really neat. Brass Tunnel Grinder, is that gonna flip yet? Okay, passes back to my turn. So if we go burn down the house first, we have 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. We don't have enough for Solphim. So if we go treasure map first, right? Treasure map first. Oh, we could also sacrifice Glittering Stockpile for 3 as well. At that point, if we went Solphim first, then it would have been 2 to the opponent's face. Bro, there's a lot to think about here. But no, if we went Solphim first, then the board wipe would have hurt us as well. So I think we still go Solphim for the turn. We still have 1, 2, double everything. Okay. It wants us to use Glittering Stockpile instead of the 4 treasures, which I do not want to do since all will be one is on the board. Is this all worth it? I have no idea. I have no clue. And then we have this open, and before they decide to kill Solphim, I suppose we can... I think we could still do that on their turn, right? Successfully. Solphim doubles the damage from all will be one. Yeah, we're starting to fizzle over here for sure, as we've been using a lot. Maybe we should draw off of the next treasures. Probably instead of using it as ramp, right? Because, yeah, card draw is going to be pretty important against a deck like this. Just outright cast it. So it's going to be a 3/3. They create 3/1/1s. So we can take it out with all will be one and Solphim comboing. Awakening for another one. Oh, crap, dude. Oh, we can take out that one, especially since that one has flying. Oh, haste. Oh, crap. Dude, yeah, Bitter Reunion. Activate ability. We should take out the flyer. Mountain, we don't need that for sure. Another counter, take out the flyer. And then we have a blocker on the ground. It's not enough. They have 7 total gnomes. Oh, man. Hey, good game. Oh, I definitely could have played this one out better, right? But a very, very fun deck from the opponent for sure. That looks scary. So, like, a few optimizations was probably when to play the burn down the house and, especially when to use the treasures off of the treasure cove. Maybe if we drawn a little more, maybe we could have done the explosive thing instead of them doing the explosive thing, right? Since all will be one was on the board, maybe just a little bit more card draw would have gone a real long way to maybe help us find our combo or anything like that, right? And then maybe we could have started just slamming all that all will be one to their face instead of on the defense. Look at how cool this is, man. This 3-fold Thunder Hulk paired with this Awakening is wild. Because, yeah, it gives it flying, too. And instead of a 0/0, now its base powers that 1/1. And then the Bitter Reunion giving it haste. Dude, I love it. I love it. That's so neat. How far are we, guys? 32 minutes. We definitely have time for one more. Let's see if I can think through the last match a little better than I thought through that one. Because there's a lot going on. A lot to think about. There's usually that threshold in the match where we get so late and there's just so much going on and it just starts just complete, like, there's a reason I play aggro, you know what I mean? Let's go ahead and pause until we find the next opponent. Next opponent found, and I think it's the same opponent. Hold up. Well, first of all, is this keepable? Yes. I recognize this name. Did we? Oh, it might be the same opponent. Maybe this is our revenge match? Now, do we start with Treasure Map or Bitter Reunion, I wonder? Guess it depends what we draw. Are they gonna go for the treasure token this time instead of discarding anything? Passes it back. Play with fire. I suppose Treasure Map is the play for the turn. We have Chandra. We could plus Chandra, then use Treasure Map's ability. I don't know. I do know one thing. Against this deck, our board wipes are going to be good. That's for sure. Also, the exile removal. If we can successfully land this on one of the Hulk things that they had. Chandra's kind of sort of safe for the turn, unless, like, they play another Scoundrel in full swing at it. So I'm going to get this down. It's also kind of sort of ramped, too, once it survives. So get that Scry, put that Mountain at the bottom. Oh, Solphim. I kept it on top last time. You know what? I still think it's a decent creature to have. Because if you like think about the board wipes and whatnot, it doubles everything on the opponent's side instead. Bitter Reunion. Solphim's a good blocker too for now. Swinging at that Chandra, making sure it doesn't get too large too fast. Yeah, it's gonna be Solphim, and it's gonna be Treasure Map again, right? Cool. Yeah, it looks like the opponent got a little bit of a slower hand this time. Oh yeah, there's the World Spell just chilling in the grave. No, that should be super scary. I'm gonna ditch the bitter... Wait, yeah? Do I want this? I'm gonna ditch the bitter reunion because we already have one. Maybe that's not what we do, since we could just play bitter reunion twice and get a little bit of card draw out of that, a little bit of filter. I don't know. I don't know what's optimal there. Just trying to get the card on top that we want to see, which I don't know what we want to see. Just anything that can hit the opponent's face at this point. So Invasion will be good once they get more down. There's their threefold Thunder Hulk. Invasion could be good this turn because we could also flip it. Right? Because we could swing with Solphim then. They have 4 mana open. We got to be careful. Maybe it's Invasion. Our Chandra takes a little bit of a hit. But I really like the idea of flipping this turn. And then playing like Play with Fire. Because this is a lot of extra damage, dude. Like, this is so much extra damage once this is flipped. Oh, maybe we should just attack the opponent's face too, because it would be 5 to their face. No, this is technically more. Because that'll be doubled, and then our Play with Fire will be doubled too. Which I wonder if we do now, or if we hold back. I'm going to do it now. So this too is doubled, and then the Play with Fire is doubled as well. Glittering Stockpile, we do not need that. Send it to the bottom. We have a great setup, man. Hopefully they don't have their own board wipes. That would be the best way for them to get rid of the Refraction Elemental. Treasure maps. 1 away from the flip. Should I have done that and then used a treasure token for the Play with Fire? Right? Because we had 1 mountain open. So if I would have just done the treasure map, this would have flipped 3 treasure tokens, used a treasure token for Play with Fire, and we still would have had 2 open. Maybe we could have played Bitter Reunion, and then it would have been another 2. Guys, I missed that. That's something to look out for with treasure map when you're that close to the treasures. Dude, seeing the world spell. Oh. Oh my. They could go Bitter Reunion, but yeah, they're so close to death that they need to hit the 18 through. They still have 5 mana. Ah. Guys, is that it? Is that it? No, it's not. Is it? It is. It is, guys. Especially with the Scoundrel, because they can plug Wicked Roll. Oh, no. Dude, that is scary, scary business. Like, this is a super terrifying Reanimator build. And yeah, haste off of Bitter Reunion. That's something else. We can only block 1. Dude. Good game. Holy cow. That was really close. I feel like we did terrific there, but any optimal plays? Should we have known it was going to be that explosive next turn? We knew that the world spell was chillin'. So I guess the big thing there was, could we have done 7 last turn? Because either way, the explosion from the opponent was going to happen. So if we would have went treasure with that last mana and had 3 available, we would have went Play with Fire. That would have brought them down to 7. We still have 2 available. Then we play Bitter Reunion, and it would have been another 4 damage down to 3, but then that's it. We're out of mana. So somewhere in that match, was there somewhere where we could have dealt 3 damage to the opponent's face? Wow, really, really something else there, guys. It really is. We had our chance to get revenge against the deck. And you know what? Let's see. One more. I know I think I said that was the last match, but I want to see if we can find, yeah, a different opponent, different deck to go up against. And the games are kind of sort of fast too, so see if I can properly play Treasure Map or more effectively play it. There seems to be quite the balance when it comes to when to use those treasures or when to use them for draws too, so okay, we'll give this a shot. Plaza of Heroes, huh? Let's see if that Torch the Tower hits the mark. It does not. Not yet, at least. Let's get that treasure map down, and it might be the same thing with Chandra here. Or we could go Chandra, Torch the Tower, depending on what they play. Chandra's been great in this build so far, dude. Mirex. No idea what we're up against yet. Old Rutstein. Or Rutstein. Slogurk. Okay. Feel like I should be a little bit scared. Alright, let's do... We can't torch the tower. The old... An Obliterating Bolt would take care of that, though, when it comes time. Chandra's not going to die next time. I think it's still going to be Chandra, right? Chandra used the treasure map. We probably could have played the blast zone there, too, instead. Do I want this? No, I do not. We definitely have enough mana for now. Gonna create another 1/1. Okay. Okay. I mean, we can also burn down the house if Chandra doesn't die, but then Chandra will die from the burn, so we'll see. We'll see where they end up swinging to. What are you? I haven't seen this one yet. They do end up swinging at Chandra. Trample. Power and toughness each equal to the number of creatures you control that are fungi. Dude, nice. Okay, wait. So they're creating fungus here. Next is the number of times you descended this turn. Oh, okay. Cool. I like it. All right, let's get that blast zone down. And we're going to want to get blast zone to 3 at some point. Maybe we just wipe this board, including the Chandra, because Chandra's going to die next turn anyways. Or we can exile. Okay. Let's wipe this board. It feels a little bad, doesn't it? It really does. I don't like losing the Chandra. Yeah, Chandra's going to die next turn regardless. So I think that's fine. We just, it feels like we're losing a lot of value there for some reason. It's 2 cards for 2 of their cards is the big thing there. It was Old Rutstein and however you pronounce that. Or Myco Tyrant, maybe. And for our Chandra and our burn down the house. But we also cleaned up all those extra tokens that they were generating too, so. Okay, Tortoise. I haven't seen too much Tortoise. That might be the first Tortoise, actually, in the early access. A little surprising. Okay, Millennium Calendar. For having 4 of these, I feel like we haven't seen it too much today. How about it, guys? Excuse me. The auto tapper's definitely going to be a little weird with this, so go ahead and get the other treasure map down, and I guess do the treasure maps and keep the torch available. Also, we could hit the tortoise. We could. Crap. All right, before combat, maybe we do that. we lose one of our treasure maps with the bargain. It might still be worth it though, so that way they don't get ramp out of it. Slowgurk, dude. Maybe we hit that instead. Either way, super scary, right? So I'm gonna say we hold off on the Torch the Tower again. That might be a bad decision, but see the land they hit. They do hit a land. Get that counter. Pretty neat. Okay. We take the 3. Yeah, the reason we hold back is because eventually we're gonna get treasure tokens from the map, which would be much better to bargain. The problem is, yeah, with the extra counters. Oh, buddy, there's a lot of value happening over there right now. We don't need the land. Treasure map. Treasure map. Okay, I'm gonna send that one too. A lot of value happening over there. We definitely want to see another board wipe. If I was patient... Oh! Well, I guess we just got lucky. Nice. I'll take it, dude. I'll take it. And so now here's the question, right? How do we want to play this one out? So if we go you first, activate Scry, we get 3 treasures. Play with fire? I'm going to send it. I don't know what I'm looking for anymore, guys. I really don't. This deck is one of those decks where you need a little bit of practice. I'm going to play Crucible to keep more treasures on this board. And we have the treasures open to double Millennium Calendar if we wanted to. Or go the other treasure map too, right? It's pretty brutal, man. That's pretty brutal. So let's see if they... No, they don't have any of those. Okay, end turn. Yeah, that's brutal stuff. As many of these treasures as possible to go ahead and restock our hand off the treasure coves. Yeah, the question is, do we want to activate treasure map or do we want to double the calendar? Cycle through the lounge. Okay. Passing it back. I'm going to go ahead and use one of the treasures for the treasure map, because next turn we can use one of our lands and get more treasures, and then draw like that. Don't need another Millennium Calendar. Already got one rolling. Okay, my turn. Another Millennium Calendar. Yeah, makes sense to me. That's funny. Mountain. Dude, these scries, I'll tell you what, these scries are going to be wild. Sacrifice, draw. Yeah, we got to start doubling everything on the calendar. Another mountain. You. Alright, I guess we play it. And we chill. End turn. Malcolm, nice. That's pretty decent to flash on in. That's a good Torch the Tower target, actually, too. And while they're tapped out, I'll hit that, actually. That's pretty good, getting that exiled. While they're tapped out, since they have blue. Although, we could have waited to see what they grabbed with the Abandoned Mire, because maybe we'd want to hit that instead. That's fine. That's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine, guys. 3 would be a great spot to keep the Blast Zone at, for when that comes time, too. We have 4 treasures. Woohoo! It's Borbor Buddy. Okay. That's a little scary. That's definitely a little scary because that is out of the Blast Zone range. If we get the Blast Zone to 3, of course. Okay, resolve. I suppose it'll be save the treasures. Activate this and get Blast Zone up 1 time, right? Yeah, save the treasures. Okay, that is 40 counters on the Millennium Calendar. Pretty cool stuff, man. Oh. Lightning Strike's good. Start with draws. Okay, start with draws. Yeah, we got to go a little faster on this calendar. Treasure map. Yeah. What we're looking for, obviously, is an all will be one. Okay, we can play this. Treasure map. The treasure maps seem to be really good. I should have waited for their turn. Bitter Reunion. Actually, I'm keeping that. I like that on top. Blast Zone doesn't hit that yet. We're going to want to soon, though. Okay, we pass it back. We're in danger with this Borbor Buddy and Fibblethip. Just because it's a big old chunky creature. Oh, Restless Cottage is over there too. Yeah, we're in danger, guys. We're in danger for sure. Hopefully they didn't draw too much. That'll be a 4/4. Yeah, maybe we're gonna have to get that Blast Zone up to 5 to take care of this, right? Maybe. So they exile or burn down the house from the grave. They draw off of that. See what they end up doing here. We're gonna go ahead and hit that Slowgurk with the Lightning Strike. Because it's all about survival. If we go 1, 2. Who endures? My calendar. No. The pain, the misery. that was our one hope. Okay, now, well, we have a second one, but like it's gonna be, oh, because the land hit the grave too. Oh, we're just like, yeah, we just got blown out by the Who Endures guys. So if I shouldn't have saved it, I guess, right? So we're gonna save the treasures to draw for the treasure cove, because I guess we could find another burn down the house. That's possible. So we're just gonna go 1 set of counters on the Blast Zone. I wasn't expecting this deck to have so many choices, but it definitely does. Treasure. See what we draw. Woo! I mean, that, I guess if we find like a Solphim off the top, right? Then that does wipe their board. It's possible. It's a play with fire. Oh man, it's too bad that Slowgurk didn't die to that Lightning Strike, right? Should I have scryed off the treasure map first? My apologies, guys. The scry could have gotten rid of the play with fire. Although we might have decided to keep these anyways, right? Blast Zone takes care of the Slowgurk for 3 mana. I guess we really don't have any choices here because they're gonna swing in with the Restless Cottage next turn anyways, right? They get to bring like the Who Endures back to their hand too and stuff. So there's not much we can do, but at least we can take out their current board and then let them swing in with the lands next turn. Pretty sick though. I feel like, and this is where, yeah, if we would have scryed off the treasure map, maybe we could have found something more efficient. Let's see it. Let's see what the scry, or what the next card would have been. Bitter Reunion. Actually not terrible, right? We would have scryed the play with fire and drawn the Bitter Reunion instead. Then there was a higher chance of finding like another burn down the house. But either way, yeah, the Restless Cottage is coming through. Good game, opponent. Very good game. Again, I feel like I could have played it out a little bit better. This is looking pretty scary. I like the Malcolm edition and the, I believe the build around here. I guess it's a graveyard build because they have Souls of the Lost. Then yeah, this Myco Tyrant. All of our board wipes went a long way, but we weren't finding like any of our win conditions that game, huh? Oh, I should have checked to see how far along in the deck we were, because we were pretty far. And that's not fair to say either, because we did find one of our win conditions. We had it on the board with Millennium Calendar, but the Who Endures gets rid of it a little bit too effectively, huh? So, of course, we'd want the Millennium Calendar on the board with that all will be one, because getting that to 1,000, as you guys saw, is going to be really hard. It's actually just going to be much easier to just get the combo on the board. So yeah, here's the deck list again. I like it. It was tough, man. It might just be because I've played way too much Magic the last day, and so, but I don't think so. I think this was just tough for me to run. This is definitely the type of deck that I would like to practice, and then just get better at. Like, you know, like you'd obviously be able to optimize the plays a little bit better after you play with it a bit, especially this treasure map. This was interesting. Apparently this is a reprint as well. There's been, I don't know how many reprints, but apparently I'm slamming a lot of reprints in my recent builds. Yeah, this is a neat card. There was a lot of just like, oh, well, maybe I should have just used that 1 mana, get those treasures, and then use those treasures. And yeah, that's really going to come down to optimizing the plays based on like the meta you're seeing too. So like, what decks are you up against? Do you need to rush? Do you need to, or can you just sit back and let the treasures chill and then draw off of them instead? And the draw seemed ridiculous off the treasure cove. So maybe we want more stuff to generate treasures in here too. Probably not, but but you never know, right? Glittering Stockpile is also just an artifact treasure, so worst comes to worst, you can always draw off of that too. Realistically, you're going to be just using this to get counters on and maybe use that bottom ability to ramp into a lot on the same turn. When you're ramping into a lot on the same turn, what you're trying to do is get that all will be 1 down and activate the calendar on the same turn, which we actually successfully did, right? So yeah, very neat build, guys. Very neat like concept with all will be 1 in Millennium Calendar. Thank you guys again for just discussing it over in the Discord. You guys are awesome. So I like, even if it's not technically a suggestion, just seeing you guys talk about it means that there's a good chance that I'll build something around it. You know what I mean? But yeah. Oh, Ojer Axonil. I would have loved to see this more today. Maybe we want more of these. Maybe we drop a Solphim, go up an Ojer, because I feel like Solphim was doing less than the Ojer Axonil, right? Maybe. Okay, don't quote me on that, but I could see dropping down to 1 of these and going up 1 of these. Going up to 3 of them, right? I could totally see that. I also really enjoyed the Invasion of Karsus. I think the 2 of was great. The 2 burn. Oh, we only have 2 burn down the house, guys. I'm so used to playing with like 4 burn down the house that in that last game, I was like, oh yeah, we could find another burn. No, we already played both of them in that last game, right? So there was close to no hope after the calendar was gone from the Huenders. The best bet would have been to find the all will be 1 before they found removal for the calendar. So I do wonder how far along in the deck we were. Blast Zone, this is one of those cards too that I just don't know. Oh, apparently I'm using the old art. Hey, speaking of reprints, apparently I'm using the old art for Blast Zone. That's a little funny. When did this get released? How does this work? Oh, there it is. Okay. The Brothers' War, I guess, right? Okay. Well, either way, we're almost an hour in, so enough rambling, right? Definitely let me know what you thought of the deck down in the comments. Probably needs to be labeled jank, but really cool. And actually, like, things that could take this out of the jank is probably this treasure map. This looks wild, man. I gotta try this out in other big red decks, right? Yeah. Yeah, with more, like, early removal and everything, too. Yep, I could totally see it. I could totally see it. I think this is going to be pretty awesome in, like, big red, especially big red artifacts, too. I gotta try it now. We gotta see if it works. I like the double bitter reunions. The torch was sitting in hand more than I would have liked, but I think that's just because we're not going up against, like, mono red and soldiers during the early access. So, yeah, I mean, obviously outside of early access, you're going to go up against those. And so the early removal is going to hit its mark more often too. So, alrighty guys, enough rambling. If you guys made it this far into the video, for real, y'all are champions. I super duper appreciate you. Again, I keep forgetting to bring this up, but let me know what you think of the new Red Cat artwork down in the comments. And I will see you in the next video.